Change the big stuff. We are not controlled by events or people, but by our perceptions of them. Perception is the way we, as individuals, interpret ourselves, the world around us. Our five senses take in the world, but perception occurs as our brain processes the incoming information through our feeling filters. When our filters feel good, we translate information in a positive way. Filters feel good. When our filters are angry or hostile, we perceive the world as negative toward us. Our perceptions of the outside world are based on our inner worlds. When we are feeling tired, for example, we are much more likely to be irritated by a child's behavior that usually doesn't bother us. Our view of a situation has a greater impact on our lives than the situation itself. Our perceptions bear witness to our state of mind. Our perceptions, right? As we think, so do we perceive. Therefore, in reality, we need not to seek a change outside the world, but rather to change our inner world. A is the actual event, B is how we interpret or perceive the event, and C is how we react to the event. Other people or event A can't make us do anything. It is our interpretation or perception B that causes our behavior. When we can't allow ourselves to look at the alternatives and to challenge our initial negative perceptions, we would travel a long way toward emotional health. It's no exaggeration to say that developing accurate, honest, and disciplined thinking can change your life. If you get rid of the ends, practice gratitude, manage your perceptions, and follow these other strategies, you will see a decrease in worry, anxiety, anger, and negativity, and be on your way to feeling better fast. 1. Eliminate ants as they attack. 2. Stop monkey mind by paying attention to it. 3. Start every day with a praise. Today is going to be a great day. 4. Record your moves and look for ways to increase gratitude. 5. Create optimism with a dose of reality to build resilience fast. 6. Change the big stuff. 7. Watch the Disney movie. Okay. A is for attachment, healing connections. A couple can have a stable and a happy relationship over time. Truth is, everybody's going to hurt you. You're just gonna find one's worth suffering for. Good relationships keeps us happier and healthier, according to 75-year longevity study from Harvard University. Positive social connections help us live longer, while loneliness kills us early. Being in positive or satisfying relationships keeps our brains and bodies healthy into old age, while being in relationships filled with conflict is associated with sickness and early death. Emotional crisis, panic attacks, depression, and obsessive behaviors are often triggered by the loss or threat and the loss of relationship. marital problems, affairs, domestic violence, breakups. All of these relationship problems prompt people to come and see us in ailment clinics. Improving your social connections is one of the best ways to start to feel better fast and make it last. I just believe that what kind of relationship with myself, which is the crucial part for my happiness and health, overall health actually. Unlike in polar bears, humans require social interaction to stay healthy. Have a fundamental need to belong. That's just an essential. As our need for food and water. People who are socially connected are happier and healthier, and they live longer. Being in loving relationships is every bit as important as sleep, a healthy diet, and exercise. When your brain is healthy, you can perceive others in a more accurately, have good control over your emotions, and act in healthy ways that bring people closer to you. Your brain allows you to read social cues, listen, respond appropriately, deal with conflict, set effective boundaries, act inclusively, and be attentive in moments of interaction. Understanding neuroscience of relationships will give you as uncommon advantage. As you care for your brain, all of your relationships will like to improve. Okay, however, if the couple communicates, respects, and share the purpose and stops escalation in a simple way, the future looks much more positive. That's true. Responsibility, empathy, listening, and good communication skills, appropriate assertiveness, actual and physical time, inquiry, and the correcting negative thoughts, noticing what you like more than what you don't, grace and forgiveness. I have the power to improve how we communicate, act toward each other. I have influence in my relationships that I assert in a positive way. I am responsible for my behaviors in our interactions. I don't think it's all your fault, but I think you have contributed to your troubles in more than you give yourself credit for. And if it's true that you have contributed to your problems, then you can do the things and change them. As long as you stay an innocent victim of others, there is nothing you can do to help yourself. Okay, either way, I need to learn how to respond effectively to whatever situation I am in. Responsibility means you have ability to respond in a positive, helpful way. Taking responsibility in relationships means continuing asking yourself what you can do to make a relationship better. What can you do today to make your relationships better? You win more in relationships when you ask yourself this question and stay away from blaming others. And increase the tendency to think always in terms of others person's point of view and to see things from that person's angle as well as your own. Okay. Metering. Oh no. There's this one. This one. Researchers have found that children with autism, who often display social skill deficits, have problems in their mirror neuron systems. This system is important to empathy. When it is healthy, we can experience the feelings of others. When the system works too hard, we can become too sensitive, which will make us terrible doctors or nurses, as if we could be crying all the time in response to others' pain. When it does not work hard enough, we could hurt others. and it wouldn't bother us. As is true with so many parts of brain, a healthy system helps us the most. Empathy helps us navigate the social environment and answer questions. The more accurately we can predict the actions and needs of others, the better off we are. The ability to tune in and empathize with others is a prerequisite for understanding, attachment, bonding, and love, all of which are important for our survival. Insensitivity to others or lack of empathy was cited more than another flaw as a reason for derailment. Balance is the key. Developing empathy involves a number of important skills, including mirroring, treating others in a way you would like it to be treated, and being able to get outside of yourself. The following three exercises are designed to help you increase your empathetic skill. Your ability to understand and communicate with others will be enhanced by learning what therapists call the mirroring technique. You can use this technique in any interpersonal situation to increase a rapport. When you're mirroring someone, you assume or you assume or imitate his or her body language, posture, eye contact, and facial expression, and you use the same words and phrases in a conversation that the other person uses. Poor communication is at the core of many relationship problems. Jumping to conclusions, trying to read minds, and needing to be right are only few traits that doom communication. When people do not connect with each other in a meaningful way, their own minds take over. The relationship and many imaginary problems arises. Too often in relationships, we have expectations and hopes that we never explicitly communicate to our partners and colleagues. We assume they should know what we need and become disappointed when they don't accurately read our minds. Clear communication is essential if relationships are to be mutually satisfying. Mind reading. You arbitrarily predict what another person is thinking and then react to that imagined information. Mind reading is often just a projection of what you think. Even after couples have been married for 30 years, it's impossible for them to always be right about what is going on in the other person's head. Asking for clarification is essential to good communication. Having to be right. When a person has to be right in a conversation, there is no communication, only a debate. Needing to be right destroys effective communication. Having a good attitude and assume the other person wants the relationship to work as much as you do. Doing so can set the mood for a positive outcome. I call this having positive basic assumptions about the relationship. State what you need clearly in a positive way. In most situations, being direct is the best approach, but the way you ask is important. Decrease distraction. Tell me what you understand, I said. Be a good listener. I hear you saying. You mean to say? Are the gold standard of good communication. Doing this allows you to check out what you heard before you respond. Monitor and follow up on your communication. It's very important not to give up. I hear you saying, is that what you mean? Okay, as you can see, these are two completely different conversations. One is demanding and limits communication, while the other promotes communication and understanding. Active listening in relationship increases its level of understanding and communication. And when people feel understood by you, they feel close to you. Begin practicing this technique on at least 2 people every day for a week. See if it doesn't increase your communication abilities and thus your ability to learn from others. As we have seen, the way you communicate with others can help or hurt your relationships. Studies have shown the technique called active and constructive communication can quickly strengthen your relationships and improve your mood. Active and constructive giving both authentic and enthusiastic support. Active and constructive. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. Tell me all about it. In healthy relationships, it's important to say what you mean. And that way, assertiveness and communication go hand in hand. Being assertive means you express your thoughts and feelings in a informed yet reasonable way, not allowing others to run over you emotionally, and not saying yes when that's not what you mean. Assertiveness never equates with being mean and aggressiveness. Do not give in to the anger of others just because it makes you uncomfortable. Anxious people do this a lot. They are all so anxious that they agree in order to avoid the intention. Unfortunately, doing this teaches others to bully you to get their way. We teach others in how to treat us by what we allow in our lives. Being assertive in the face of another's anger does mean you have to be angry back, but it doesn't mean you don't agree with someone simply because you're uncomfortable. When you're feeling anxious about another person's anger, it is a good time to do the deep breathing techniques that I taught you earlier. Take a 3 deep, slow breaths and really think about what your opinion is. Then state it clearly without much emotion. Say what you mean and stick up for what you believe is right. People will respect you more. People like others who are real and who say exactly what's on their mind. Okay, say what you mean and stick up for what you believe is right. People will respect you more. People like others who are real and who say exactly what's on their mind. Mental self-control. Being angry, mean, or aggressive is not being assertive. You can be assertive in a calm and clear way. Be firm and kind if possible. Above all, be firm in your stance. Again, we teach other people how to treat us, right? So when we give in to their temper tantrums, we actually teach them the way we control us. When we assert ourselves in a firm and kind way, others have more respect for us and will treat us accordingly. Now, if you've allowed others to emotionally run over you for a long time, they are going to be resistant to change. If you stick to your guns, you will help them learn a new way to relating to you, and the relationship will improve. Ultimately, you also will respect yourself more. Be assertive only when it is necessary. If you assert yourself all the time for unimportant issues, you will be perceived as a control.
Now connected to Chromebook_C1 file.